Hello and welcome back. So today we're going to be deploying our Flask API server inside of a Docker container. So I want to draw attention to the server PY script, the host configuration in particular. So right now we have it set as 0000. Without that specified, it's actually going to go to your loopback address, which isn't going to work for reaching into a container. So once we make sure that we've got that set, we're going to verify that we have a version of Docker installed, and it looks like we are good to go. So I want to start by creating a requirements.txt file. So this is going to be particularly for pip, and we're going to define all the dependencies that we need for Python in here. So right now it's just Flask 1.1.2, but we can expand that later on. So next we're going to start working on our Docker file. And you can go to the Docker website for different references, but basically we're going to pull the Python 3 base image. We're going to copy our local files into that directory, and we're going to set that directory name as app. That's arbitrary. You can set it to be whatever you want. But then we're going to set that working directory as app so that any commands that we run initiate out of there. So the next thing we'll do is we'll use that requirements.txt file to install any of those pip dependencies. And that's going to automatically run through any list that we have and get those installed. We'll expose the port 6000, which is what our Flask server runs on. And then we're going to set our entry pointer command. And that's going to be obviously Python server.py. All right, great. So we'll exit that out. And now we got to build our container. So what we're going to do is use docker build, and then we're going to throw a -t flag, and that's going to be a tag, and we can give this container a name. That way when we reference the image in the future, it's easier than some kind of random number. And we use that period to set the build context, and so that's going to say, look in my local directory for all the build information, which is the files, Docker file, etc. So we'll watch this build go. It may take a little longer for you because I already have the Python 3 base image locally. But we'll be good to go there, and it looks like we can start to run our image. So we'll set the name. So this is different than the tag. This is for the actual running container instance. So we'll set that name as Flask API. We'll bind our ports between the host and container. So that's 6,000 on each. And then specify the container name, the Flask API. So once we have that running, we'll verify that it is up and healthy, and it looks like we are good to go. So we'll try curling that endpoint, make sure we can reach the API, and there we go. Hello world. So great, we're all set. The container runs. It is accessible externally. I'd like to thank you for watching, and remember to check back for updated content.